Kuromakuro. Aliens attack Earth and our only hope lies with one super overpowered guy with a super overpowered mech. Everyone else is useless. There's also this princess who's actually the enemy but not really the enemy, and a person who looks exactly like said princess. Then there's the enemy leaders who are sent one by one to their doom and are terribly incompetent. Sounds familiar? Nah, no way. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. I can't use the official songs anymore because I've gotten way too many copyright strikes already, so I think I'll have to start singing the songs myself. Here goes. Do 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 do. Anyway, Kuromakuro is a 26-episode mecha anime that aired in the spring-summer 2016 seasons. Of all the anime I've ever watched, I think this one is the closest to being average. The setting is your average mecha about aliens trying to take over the Earth, the characters are your average high schoolers, the music is your average epic battle music, the animations are average, the visuals are average, the voice acting is average, the writing is average, and if you average up all the averages, it turns out, well, this anime is pretty average. And that's not a bad thing. I'm an average person, you're probably an average person, most people on Earth are average people. And that's fine, it's okay being average. I feel like people don't respect average anime enough, watching only the most high quality, revolutionary anime and regarding everything else as trash. Kuromakuro ain't trash, but it ain't great either. However, it has one thing going for it. It's consistent. Unlike something like Aldnoah Zero, where some aspects of the anime were amazing and other aspects were, well, let's just say subpar, Kuromakuro is able to maintain its averageness and not disappoint viewers by setting expectations low and fulfilling those expectations. So if you haven't watched this anime yet, it's really difficult for me to tell you if you should watch it or not, since it's right in the middle, really. Maybe just flip a coin to decide or something, or, you know, you could make an informed decision based on unbiased facts or something. Nah, screw that, thinking is overrated. Anyway, like I said earlier, Kuromakuro is a mecha anime, and based on my limited knowledge on the genre, it's pretty similar to what you'd expect from a mecha anime. There's fights, explosions, a useless military force, and a host of cool and interesting characters. The one main difference I can see is that there's more of a focus on these characters compared to the action. Being completely honest, the fights in this anime lack much impact at all. The animation feels pretty stiff and the scale is never large, usually having only a few mechs fighting each other at once. And the last boss was more like a shitty mid-boss than a final epic encounter. While the first half of the anime had this sort of enemy of the week syndrome, towards the end there weren't any enemies at all, and most episodes were just characters interacting outside the mechs. For some people this will be a turn-off. A mecha anime without much mecha action? What the hell is even the point? But for people like me who enjoy seeing characters develop over time, this was a nice change from the usual. The story is surprisingly interesting, and they managed to create lore that makes me want to see more of this universe, which is a good thing because the end of this anime makes the whole season feel like a prologue, that the real shit is gonna go down from here on. Which is a good thing if they do create another season, but if they don't, well, this anime will just leave you feeling a bit empty with that unfulfilling ending. With all of this in mind, I'd say Kuromakuro is a 5 out of 10, but you probably already saw that coming with the constant mention of the word average in this review so far. From this point on though, I'm gonna go all out with the spoilers, so if you haven't seen the anime yet and plan to, you may want to close this video. I like it. Sure, the whole super advanced aliens who want to take over the universe come to puny little Earth thing is overdone, but I feel like Kuromakuro does it differently enough that it's still interesting. Clones and mind control are common themes in sci-fi, but the whole idea of using clones of the citizens of the planet you've just captured for your next endeavor is pretty cool. It makes it so that no one really knows who the Ephidolg are, not even the commanders of the ship since they are merely puppets. Throughout most of the anime, there's this sense of mystery surrounding the Ephidolg, as well as a lot of other characters, and unlike some anime, these questions that arise are actually answered. I don't know how I feel about the ending though. On the one hand, it just upped the scale of the anime from 1 to 100, but at the same time it kind of undermines the whole season, like this was just a warm-up for the real battle. If they can create a good second season that expands on the lore even more, and not completely fuck everything up like Aldnoah's second season, I think the story will be pretty good. First up, it's Samurai Boy, Kenosuke Tokisada Oma, but that's too long so I'll call him Ken. He's the guy who was slimergenically frozen in a cube for hundreds of years and talks in a funny accent. Also, he's got a ninja dick that dodges any attempt at capturing it on camera. Ken does the whole, wow, look at this technology, so strange and different and confusing, I can't understand any of this, even though he acts like his giant robot and remote-controlled car are just perfectly normal things. His character is pretty one-dimensional, and I'm not a fan of the whole "my life for Aya" type devotion he has, as it gets pretty repetitive. Yukina is the other main character, and she's also uninteresting and bland. The only thing I like about her was the backstory with her father, which was almost in the realm of the feels, but fell slightly short due to me being distracted by the demon's black hole of a nose as he was telling the story. Like, there's so many questions, where do I begin? Why is it an arrow shape? Why is it pure darkness in there? How damn deep is it? Like, seriously. While I'm on the topic of the demon, I love him. It's nice to get a mysterious alien character that helps the team along and doesn't suddenly betray everyone. For a second, when the big bad boss turned out to be a demon as well, I was kinda worried the demon would be like, hey brother, what's up? Let's whoop some of this human ass now that I'm back. But he pulled through. One thing I'm seeing a lot from Kuromakuro is that the people in this show are just nice people. No one's evil just for the sake of being evil. Sure, they make mistakes like wearing Crocs and endangering the entire human race for the sake of your daughter, but they never had any evil intent. They were just being dumbasses. Even the enemy is only evil because they were programmed to be. Anyway, next. Sophie, the token rich girl. Her smug little face kinda annoys me, to be honest. Also, for the entire anime, she was shown to be apathetic towards Sebastian, and then suddenly when he dies, she screams like a fucking siren. Like, seriously? Before you could barely crack a smile with that smug ass face, and now you're telling me you actually have emotions? Get out of here. You could argue that it's character development, but that shift in attitude came out of nowhere. Seb's sudden death also came out of nowhere. Oh wait, he's not actually dead. Ugh. I hate it when they do this, especially when it's an unimportant character like Sebi. Just leave him dead. By making him come back to life, the anime loses any sense of tension and emergency, as you set a precedent that no one even remotely important is going to die. Talking about the Sebster though, why was he even acting like a butler? Did we get any backstory on that, or was it just to give him character? Scare quotes used, because he doesn't actually have any character. But who cares about character when you've got titties? Big, juicy titties. This girl right here only exists for the fan service and for shipping purposes, and I'm fine with that. Tom X, red-haired girl, I don't even know her name, is the best ship. And talking about Tom, man, I'm really on point with these segues today. Tom's probably my favourite character. Usually these asshole type characters are only there for the main character to beat up and look cool in comparison to. But for the first time I've seen, the asshole character isn't made out to be the bad guy, he's just an asshole. It's refreshing hearing someone talk shit and speak his mind and not get his ass handed to him. And surprisingly, his character isn't just one-dimensional and static like a lot of the others. Over time, he's shown to actually care about others, and the scene near the end where he has fun with all the kids in the play just made me smile. Yeah, there's so many damn characters in this anime, like holy shit. If they just held back on the number of characters, and rather than creating a bunch of one-dimensional ones, created fewer more interesting characters, this anime would have been much more enjoyable, but alas. Here are the high school friend characters. There's the Twitch streamer third wheel, poor guy, rich bitch, pretty bitch, fake bitch, big tits, random chicks, man that sounded pretty lit, just kidding, that was shit. Anyway, the only notable one out of those is third wheel Akagi, who gets some development towards the end. I'm shipping him with that fake bitch so hard, and if that happens, man, that would be the most amazing yet sad thing ever. Like, the only way he'll ever get the girl is by getting with her clone. Ah, such is the life of a side character, destined to always be the third wheel. Now I guess I'll skip over the overprotective mom and a ton of the other unimportant characters and talk a bit about the Effidolg. These guys are a bunch of dumbasses. Like seriously, you've got all this sick technology and can't even manage to take out this weak ass Earth? The real question is, why are all these clones so egotistical and overconfident? Wouldn't they want to program their underlings to be more competent and smart, rather than wanting to go in one by one like some headless chickens into a slaughterhouse? Whatever. It's hard to take these enemies seriously when their ship is a fucking tentacle monster. Like Japan, come on, enough with the tentacles, even the fucking final boss has tentacles. I've never had a tentacle up my ass, but from what I can imagine, it wouldn't be the best feeling in the world. So I wonder why Japan is so obsessed with them. Like I said before, the animation in Kuromakuro isn't great. The fights are lame, but everything else is just average. The visuals are alright, but there's something about the characters' faces that seems a little bit off, making the girls look oddly chubby. Not that I really care about that. The background music is not memorable in any way, shape or form, but the opening and ending songs are quite nice. I like the first OP the most, so I loved it when they brought it back in the last episode. However, there are parts, most notably in the final battle, where there's no music at all, and it makes it look so awkward and silly. Like, look at this. And then there's these guys firing guns that are literally just static images with flashing lights attached. It just makes it look really low effort, especially for something that's meant to be the climax. Also, the final boss literally took 2.5 minutes to defeat. The final boss! 2.5 minutes. Quite disappointing, really. To conclude, I recommend Kuromakuro to sci-fi fans who don't really care too much about epic battles and enjoy seeing a whole bunch of side characters interacting with one another. Compared to other mech anime, Kuromakuro leans more towards the slice of life aspect of things rather than the action, and while for some that could be a negative, I quite enjoyed the slower, more personal story. The ending caught me off guard and made me legitimately excited for a sequel. If a second season does come out and is any good, this anime probably deserves a slightly higher score, but as a standalone title, it's a 5 out of 10 for me.
ハウゼン先生、少しお休みになられては。
今は医者の時間です。お楽しみはその後で。